Let's just start with a breath today.
Sounds good.
And release. Okay.
Hello, my friend and wisdom
Hello.
keepers. We're together in the energy today. There's been a lot going on.
We are together in the energy, but I'm just going to put the caveat out there. We had a hurricane come through day before yesterday, night before last actually. And so I'm not going to be at physical strength that I normally am, which is not a bad thing. I step back, they come through much more uh, supportively and presently. And so you're going to get more of them today than you're going to get me.
Yes. Well, I'm grateful, and I know anyone who's listening after as well is they're going to be grateful for whatever comes through, because my question is rather broad, and yet it encompasses a lot that we always go through. So if I may just start by asking the question, how do we stay okay with change, as change is one of the constants that exist in the physical and probably in the ethereal as well on a different level? But how do we manage change?
First, we realize that change is constant. If you look at any one of your experiences, you're going to see that from the time you are conceived to the time that you leave form, change is constant. Change is always constant.
Yeah.
And that's just a natural part of the experience. If there were not change and nothing ever changed, if nothing ever transformed, what would be the point? But we're going to go back to the experience of our channel in the last couple of days and how she handled what could be a massively upsetting event as she watched this storm develop and come at her, and as it changed and grew, especially it didn't do a whole lot until it got very close to their island, and then it just mushroomed, and then it's now moving beyond that and has is significantly less than it was. But as it was getting very close to the island and it was getting very large, much larger, a lot of the people of the island were looking back to 2014 when there was another storm that was devastating for the island. And it was a very turn point transformational experience for her. It was also very frightening because it was the first time she had ever been through such a thing and had no idea what was going on or what to expect, or even what was safe and wasn't safe, which of course we all know that there is no such thing truly as safety in the physical realm. But when you're in that experience, what do you do? Well, in this latest experience, she continued to go back to calm, breathing. This is for our highest good. This is going to be okay. Everything's going to be just fine. We're going to work out. And this is just an experience. This is not even reality. It's just an experience. And if you can keep the higher mind, the higher, if you will, energy in this, you're going to save yourself a lot of stress, and you're going to come through it much more easily. Humans have a tendency to put a lot of unnecessary stress on themselves through fear, but also through conditioning fear, or fear that has been conditioned into you. And this is really not necessary. You can actually, the Buddhist example is to sit calmly in meditation as the fire burns around you, as the forest fire burns around you. And there is a Hawaiian example during one eruption, many years past now, where the people who lived in this particular house just sat in meditation and said, please save the house, please save the house. Everything's going to be okay. And they just sat in meditation. And the lava actually went around their house. It got everybody else's, but that house is still standing. If you can put yourself in the calm, in the true reality that all of this is just energy, it's all just energy. And it's here to help us transform into our highest experience. And then you can come out of this with a lot more grace and ease than before. So in the case of our channel in the last couple of days, the trees in her area did not fall. Yes, there are a lot of people all over the island that are having different experiences, and we understand that, and we give them the support they need. But in her case, no trees fell in her area. So the day after the storm, that's yesterday in your time, she was able to sit in gratitude. In gratitude. It was calm. It was quiet. And she spent the day in gratitude. And that is the same as the Hawaiian example and others. And you can do this. And if you do, not only do you have a transformational experience that is much less painful and much quicker, but you also cause your own self, your physical body, less stress. Mm. And that is where what you call miracles happen.
Mm. I get the sense of how the fear in our human state wants to create control, because humans want to control their environment. They want to control their surroundings and outcomes, right? We have this habit of staying in a comfort zone, even if it's not comfortable. And I think for a lot of people, when they haven't been given the opportunity to understand maybe what's happening and the change that has occurred without them, there's that loss of control. So like grief almost comes up. Is there anything that you can speak towards, like speak on towards that?
The control that you mentioned, and thank you for asking, is ingrained into you that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to feel that way. That's never been the truth. It's never been the truth. And control is only control if you give your power away to something, even if that control is of yourself. It is giving your power away. When you realize that you cannot give your power away, it is within you and only within you. Each of you has your own power equally. Every one of you. There is not more or less to any one of you. It is all the same. And it's the same power that's in each of you, but you each have your own experience of it. And when you realize that you cannot give it away, there is no control, as you say, it allows you to open to being present in the moment and being able to be much more likely to handle whatever situation comes your way with this joy and bliss, with this calm and gratitude. And you can see any incident in gratitude because it is there, as we said, as a means for you to transform your highest experience.
It's not an easy task in the sense of a human mind frame, right? We feel like there's so much in the way, like perhaps blame comes in. They didn't give me an option, or where is my voice in this, or how come, what if, like all of these statements that we've, as you said, become used to and been taught and created as habitual, they get in the way. So how could you suggest, like, you've talked about awareness, you've talked about acceptance, you've talked about gratitude. Is there a little something else that can be seen as helping get past those human phrases, cliches or whatever you want to call them?
In order to be here, you, each of you, every one of you, made the choice to be here. And each of you planned the major events to be part of your experience. When you realize, I chose this, but I do have options. You always have options. You have multitude options, more than you can even imagine in any moment. You are never forced into any option. You can always change that if you don't like it. And if you perceive you've already had the event or been through the event or experienced it and you don't like it, you can always change your perception of how you experienced it. You may not be able to change the event, but you can change your perception. And when you change your perception, you can release that event and you can move on in a different form of mind, frame of mind, if you will, toward that event, which changes your whole experience in the now. You can let go of that being in your present. Let it go from your mind as being as if playing on a movie screen right in front of your eyes. Let go of it. And then you can move forward seeing clearly beyond that. So part of it is what you allow, what you have chosen to allow and accept, and what you wish to change. Much of what you are seeing now is coming forth so that specifically so that all of you can see it. It's been there forever, but now you can see it and you choose. Do we keep this? Do we let this go? Do we change this to make it serve all the people? And that's it. If the experience doesn't serve you as a being of energy that is transforming, transform it. If you humans are in positions or are seeing situations around you, events, structures, everything that do not serve you to transform to serve into a world that serves all people equally, This is your chance to transform it and change it. As within, so without. Each of you is a being who is part of that. What is happening, what you feel, each of you, you all think you're all individual. You're not. You're all part of the same whole, and there is no separation. So if you are feeling it, everyone else is probably feeling it too, in their own way, in their own experience. But the energy is around all of you, in you, through you, flowing through you. It's there. You're not alone. And as it flows through all of you, you have the options to be able to make it what you need it to be so that you can create the world that is to be for the future of all of you and all of those who come after you.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. Yes, it feels like a very deep topic, and I know that we create that depth. So thank you for bringing it back into the light and lightening it for us in all sorts of ways.
Our pleasure.
So much gratitude to you and to Lei for holding this space.
Thank you for being with us.
And you with us.